So as you can see, next up, I want to bring up Pooja, who I've met a few times. Unfortunately, not yet in person. I'm sure that will, once we don't have a global pandemic raging, we'll be somewhere sometime, and I'd love to get to know you a little bit more. But the few times that we have connected, I have to tell you, you leave an impression. You leave, somebody leaves better than when they entered, when they had a meeting with you. Your smile is infectious, and huge asset to Filecoin, and the team, and honestly our partnership. So it's amazing to have you here. Thank you for taking the time to be here and connect with us and our community at TruffleCon.
Thanks so much, Wes. That's super, super nice of you to say. Thank you. I'm brown, but I'm blushing a little bit. But yeah, glad to be here with you, and really excited to be at TruffleCon. This is an amazing event. Thank you.
Yeah, well, we're honored to have you here. So, Filecoin, we actually made an announcement, I don't know, a few months back, maybe, that we were going to also do a partnership and build some integrations. And I can tell you personally, the reason why that was so exciting to me is because when I got into this space, there was there was this idea of kind of this three-part, some people call it the Holy Trinity, some people are offended by that, whatever. It's like this three-part thing, right? And we obviously have the blockchain segment of that, right? Decentralized computation. And then there was decentralized storage and decentralized messaging. And obviously Filecoin takes us a huge step in the direction of actually completing those really key three steps with decentralized storage. So super excited that you're here, that we partnered together, and that ultimately we're advancing this ecosystem together. So for our community members that don't know it as intimately as I do, tell us about Filecoin. What is Filecoin? What is it used for? Why should they be excited about it as well?
Totally. Yeah. And you, I think, said it exactly the way that we think about it too, where, Filecoin really is, as we think about moving to this Web3 fully decentralized future and stack of the internet, Filecoin aims to be the decentralized storage layer for that future of the internet and the web. And so what Filecoin actually is it's a bunch of different things. At its most core level, Filecoin is a two-sided marketplace for storage. So the simplest description is kind of like an Airbnb for storage capacity, where people in the world who have spare storage capacity can put it up for rent on the network, and people who want to store data can hire miners. We call them the people providing storage capacity, storage miners. So they can hire storage miners to store their data, and they can specify various different parameters, like how much they're willing to pay for the storage, and they can also choose miners and geographies where they're interested to store data. They can choose how many copies of the data they want to store, and so on. But really, at its most fundamental level, Filecoin is a two-sided marketplace for storage. And the medium of exchange on the Filecoin network is the cryptocurrency, the native token, which is the Filecoin token. So it's also the cryptocurrency. We also think of Filecoin as the underlying storage protocol, so it's possible that there will be other storage networks in the world that use the Filecoin protocol that aren't, the core Filecoin marketplace that we have launched just a few weeks ago. But yeah, that's in a nutshell what Filecoin is.
Yeah, speaking of a few weeks ago, something happened. I don't know. It was like kind of a big deal. Maybe years in the making, and it took a little bit of effort. What happened? Talk to us about last month and the huge milestone that you guys are celebrating, and we're honestly, huge cheerleaders celebrating as well.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. I mean, you guys were such an important part of that moment for the community. But yeah, on October 15th, at around 7:45 a.m. Pacific time, we launched the Filecoin mainnet. So that was, a huge, huge, huge event. That was our liftoff moment. And then the week after that, we actually had also, a Filecoin conference. We called it Liftoff Week, and a number of folks from the community, spoke. there and talked about all the wonderful things that are being built in this ecosystem. So yeah, as you said, it's been a long time in the making. I think the first inklings of Filecoin as a concept existed in 2014, and there was obviously the initial token sale in 2017, and the team has just been working so hard, tirelessly for 3 years at this point. So it was really a momentous occasion. We're super excited to have crossed that milestone, and now we're in this land of we want to drive as much energy in the developer ecosystem and as much, usage of Filecoin for storage as possible. And so I think that's where our partnership is super relevant and provides a really important piece of missing tooling. Because, now that this thing is live, we can actually see it start to fulfill this vision of being this proper decentralized storage network for Web3. So yeah, really, really excited about the potential there.
I love it. Obviously, our goal in this integration always was to kind of lower that barrier to entry for Web3 devs. Web3, a lot different than Web2. And if you're new to our ecosystem, first of all, welcome. Second of all, this is a huge key piece of decentralized development. And so over the summer, when we announced this, we released a new command called Truffle Preserve in Truffle CLI to preserve application data, right? How do you think developers have benefited or will benefit from this Truffle command in the future? Yeah,
so I think, and I think we've talked about this a little bit before as well, but really the vision for all of what we're trying to do, I think, is to make this really seamless deployment of a complete application that is using decentralized compute, so Ethereum probably in most cases, and using Filecoin for decentralized storage, and making that whole deployment pipeline super seamless. So I think Truffle Preserve is going to fill that, that missing link right now. So, there are a lot of people in the world who are building dApps that maybe are storing their front ends on various different types of technologies. And I think with this feature of Truffle Preserve, and I think also the other Truffle development work and product work that's coming down the line in the next few months, I think now we're actually going to be able to see full dApps that, with one command can be deployed to local testing environments for Ethereum and also to Filecoin. And so you can just test that whole flow end to end. And before this, I just don't think there was a very seamless way to do that. So you'd have to, integrate all of these technologies yourself and figure out all the different APIs, and Truffle Preserve makes that super seamless. So I think that's really going to reduce the barrier to entry for dApp developers for sure.
Love it. Any final words of advice for the Truffle community as they luckily got to meet you and Filecoin?
Yeah, well, I think that I feel like I haven't been in the space as long as a lot of people, but it's been almost 3 years now. And I feel like it has always felt so early and it still feels that way. It's just there's so much opportunity. And I mean, we're seeing, so many amazing, every year, I think we just see so many new, really professional products and ideas that are just we're just maturing in a lot of ways. And it's still so early. There's so much opportunity. If you want to build in this space, you're not too late, and there's just so much to do, whether it's, within the Truffle world or Filecoin world, or just in Web3 more generally. There's just so much to build and so much to do. So I just, just surfacing to the world. I'm sure everyone who's already here is already excited about that. But I think, stay with it. I think we're on the cusp of something really, really exciting. And I think all of the new stuff that's been happening over these last few months and what's slated for the next few months as well is just going to supercharge all of our collective efforts. And yeah, if anyone ever wants to build in the Filecoin ecosystem, there's so much to do. So definitely hit us up. We'd love to help you get started there. So.
Awesome. Yeah. How do they build in the Filecoin ecosystem? Is there a quick reference where you can send somebody to, or how would they kind of start?
Yeah, probably the best initial landing point is the Filecoin documentation site. And, that just has some really good getting started guides, and probably like the way that you can meet the team. And if you want to know about like what are some interesting ideas for projects that and like businesses that we've thought about, but just like haven't been able to build ourselves, like if you want to brainstorm things like that, you can also join the Filecoin Slack. It's just filecoin.io/Slack, and feel free you can just directly reach out to me. It's just my Slack handle is my first name, or in many of our developer oriented channels. And we always love brainstorming with developers in the community. So definitely feel free to reach out.
Love it. Thank you so much for being here. The only thing that could have made this better is if you would have randomly sworn on stage, like God, maybe complimented my beard. Other than that,
it is an amazing beard.
In every way. Thank you so much, and we'll look forward to continuing our partnership.
Yes, super excited. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of TruffleCon, everyone.
Thank you. Take care.